I've heard that's wrong.
Thirsty? I have a girl code that I think everybody will probably do.
I don't care if it's a picture of the dog on the page. Nobody better like
though?
me.
Like, I feel like you should look at it like I deserve this. Yes, this is my money.
Hey guys, welcome to the Melanated Opinion. I'm Takara.
It's your girl Melissa.
I'm Crystal. What up, peoples?
I'm Shanita.
So this week we're going to start off doing something a little bit different. We're going to do a little icebreaker. So, Crystal, you ready?
I'm ready. So this icebreaker is going to be, which one of us is most likely to ... So I'm going to ask the question, and we're going to let y'all know what we think about each other, right? Right. So first question is, which one of us is most likely to initiate a flirt with a person we're attracted to? So which one of us is most likely to start flirting with someone that we're attracted to?
Can you see mine? Mine is blurry. Oh, mine is blurry.
What did yours say?
It says Crystal.
We need to do a redo. I don't know how I got 2 votes.
I get a vote at all. I'm actually sure if it was somebody you like, I could talk to them for you, but if it's for me,
Okay, well that's okay, Shanita, because I won't tell anybody how we were on vacation and you started flirting with the guy that did. I'm not gonna tell nobody that. So that's
what you just did.
With the cookies.
Yes.
You was offering him some cookies.
I knew I was gonna see him. No, man, it was some good cookies, and they was free. But that's different.
So, Melissa, you said me. How you figure?
I just feel like you just go for it, you know? Okay, give up. So that's what I feel.
You might be right. Sure, why not? What is to lose? What is to lose? Nothing.
Keep that
Worst
energy.
thing to say is no.
Right. And they don't. Okay,
hey, Crystal,
so
you wouldn't?
It depends.
Wait, who she say?
She said me. I said her. And Takara said Crystal.
Oh.
So Crystal got 2 votes.
Recount.
Yep.
But okay. I'll take it.
What were you gonna say, Melissa?
No, I thought she called my name. That's why
okay, no, but tell us.
Oh no, I was gonna say it depends on if I want them really bad. It depends on who it is, to be honest.
Okay. So I guess I'll ask the next question. So who is most likely to shave their head bald, completely bald? Oh, mine. Oh, upside down, but there it is.
Really?
No, Shanita. Now, Shanita, you I would not do that. You know that.
Well, she may have said that. She might have said it because she knew you were trying something different with your hair.
But bald? Completely bald? Why not? That's exactly the person who said why not. That's why I chose her.
One of my very best friends, she's shaved her head completely bald. She puts that face on, honey, and she works.
No, people can do it. It's just
yes, they can. Yeah. But I guess so. I wonder why most of us picked Crystal. Even Crystal picked Crystal.
Right. Because I feel like out of all of us, I would be the one more likely to try it, because it's something that's I don't know, to me, it's why not? If I shave it, it's just going to grow back.
Have you thought about it already?
No. Oh. I'll probably get locks before I shave, but I don't want to do locks either. But so that's another story. Because
I would go super short, which I have done before, but probably not shaved.
You know, locks is a commitment issue, so I'm not committed like that.
Well, moving on to today's topic. So for the past couple of days on social media, you know, the topic been floating around again, so I had to ask y'all opinion. So the question is, why do good women tend to stay single?
Well,
okay, look, check this out. So all of us, I can't make that statement. So I would say that I know a lot of people that I feel like are good women are single, and you know, they don't have a lot of potentials in their life. So for me, I'm like, yeah, I get it. And it's weird because, you know, I feel like they were more than likely the ones that were raised to like cook and clean and cater, but they are the ones who are single. So I'm like, something is not adding up to me.
The math is not mathing.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I have a few personal stories, and let me just say these are just my stories, and it doesn't go for everybody, you know, but just these are my stories. Let me say for me, when I am being nice and I have good intentions, guys who I talk to, they tell me I'm basically too nice, I should curse more, and that they don't want to keep talking to me because I don't argue enough. But when I have like, I know I'm not going anywhere with this guy and I'm talking to him crazy, like, cause I know there's no future. Oh, he can't get enough of me. Like, he's stalking me. Like, yes, all the things. So that's my experience. It's like, you know, when I'm good, they're not checking for me. But when I'm like, I ain't gonna say crazy, but when I'm not like, you know, when I'm doing the most, that's when they checking for me. I can't keep them off.
They normal guys, the ones where you're doing the most?
No, that's why I was doing the most, because they were not like regular guys. You know, like I did the most.
They weren't ones that you wanted to keep around.
Exactly. So have y'all experienced that or what?
Well, Mom, now that you say that, I've heard a lot of, I guess, I wouldn't say heard, but I guess I've seen a lot of relationships that like they go for what they're used to. Like they don't like change. They like to be toxic, you know, stuff like that. So it's like they kind of stay with what they're used to rather than changing and actually healing, you know, communicate, put in the work to have a healthy relationship. I don't see a lot of people doing that. They like the toxic and all that, you know, they don't want to put in the work.
So for me, I almost feel like when you act like, you know, a certain type of way, when you are not necessarily cussing them out, but just giving them more of attitude, it's almost like a challenge. And I think in general, men like a challenge. And so it's almost like, but then once, you know, you've talked all that good talk, right? And you've kind of fussed at them and given them attitude, right? And then when you're like comfortable and you're not giving them attitude anymore, I almost feel like they kind of lose a little bit of interest because it's no longer, you know, it's nothing to chase after for. They got you, and so they're bored, I guess. Now.
Oh no, like y'all are saying like getting the attitude and that's what they want. Maybe I was talking to a different breed because the attitude wasn't working, the good girl wasn't working, nothing was just working. It just, I think for me, I don't like to argue, like yelling and stuff, because when you start yelling at me, I'm gonna tune you out. So for me, like I want to have conversations, and I think that's why some of them didn't, because they don't want to have like an actual conversation about what's going on. Like, you know, I don't have to cuss you out. Like, we're going to figure it out. So I think maybe they thought I was too counseling mode or something for them. I don't know. Because I had a couple that tell me, you not at work. Like, talk to me like a normal person. So I don't know. I just think you don't have a lot of females, and I'm not, like Chris said, I'm not talking about everybody, but you don't have a lot of females that have high standards anymore. And you don't even have to have high standards, just medium standards. And because they put up with anything, when you have a good girl that actually want respect and want you to do stuff, it's like, oh, you doing too much now. So, I mean, to me, I think because so many people have settled, it's like, why do work hard to get this one person when I can have 50 that don't care?
You know what? I was going to ask you about that because I heard you say something about it before. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. So my question is that the way I see it is that it almost feels like it sounds like you're saying the other female, because they don't have the same standards as you, is their fault that the men are not being good. And in my mind, if a man wants to be a good man, then that's what he's going to do. And I'm like, I don't force or make a man do anything he don't want to do. So if he's, if I like him and I'm like, yes, you're going to respect me in a certain way, you're going to have to take me out, you're going to have to do this and that. If he don't want to do it, I'm not going to say, hey, I need you to change. I'm just going to stop talking to him, because I don't feel like I just have never been one to feel like I need to make somebody do something.
Yeah, and you don't have to. And what I mean by that is, you have some guys that'll sit at home and they're going to drive the female car. They're going to, play video. They're not going to get up and do anything because that female is not requiring them to. But then you can get with someone else and you immediately want to marry them. You want to, change and do all this stuff. So I feel like as long as a female is not requiring you to do anything, they're not going to do it. So it's not that you're making them. It's just because you're not setting anything for them to do. So they don't care. And I've heard people that just say, well, I mean, if she give me the money, I'm taking it, or if she's not making me do anything, I mean, I'm good. Like, so they're not going to do it, even though it may be in them to do the right thing. But if you got somebody that just constantly giving you money or, waiting on you hand and foot and you ain't got to go to work, you ain't got to take no garbage out, nothing. I mean, you got it easy. Why would you want to go somewhere where you have to work?
No, so I agree.
At them, but yeah.
I agree. I think they do, but I also think it's not that woman's fault that he doesn't want to treat another woman right.
How though?
Because if he wanted to, then he would just do it. Just because one person let you do something don't mean that everybody's gonna let you do it.
True, right. That's when he would change, because that the other people are not allowing you to just do nothing.
No, that means goodbye. I don't even want to teach you and tell you what's appropriate or not. Like I feel like most people know what's appropriate or not. I shouldn't have to teach you or tell you.
Not at this age. I mean, you should be pretty comfortable in your own skin. You should know exactly pretty much who you are. And you should also be in a place where you're like actively working on being better and stronger mentally, whether that's like, focusing more on, like when you're young, you do dumb stuff and you don't necessarily, maybe you're not good at communicating whatever the issues are. At this point, we should be able to sit down and actually have like a full-on conversation where I'm like understanding you and you are making an effort to understand me. And I feel like, I don't know, I just don't encounter that too often. And I'm kind of like Crystal, like if you don't have like your stuff almost together, there's no point. Like I'm not even gonna waste my time.
And I mean, to just be honest, I feel like the only reason why they do is because maybe they're good in a certain area.
I do think that it's probably that, along with the fact that there are a lot of females who have low self-esteem and they would just settle for anything. So I think it's a combination of things. But I still feel like you can't, I don't know, I just feel like you can't blame a female for how a guy responds.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, like she said, they put up with the bare minimum. That's why they keep acting like that. There's actually people that put up with that.
So that's also the thing, right? You have to evolve. And so maybe, again, I think it's an age thing. In my mind, it's an age thing, because most of the women that I know that are in my age group, like, they're pretty decent. They have their stuff together, and they're working on bettering themselves, or they're good parents and all of that. So,
but are they in good relationships?
And it's not an age thing.
It's not even that they're not even in relationships.
Okay, let's change it. How many men our age, whatever your age is, do you know that are in relationships? Do you know a lot of men around your age that are in relationships?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are not ideal men either.
What do you mean?
That means that you wouldn't date them if they were single.
Oh no, I would date them if I was
Yeah.
single. I mean, well, I am single, but if they were single, yeah, I would date them. Because they are, well-rounded guys. But it's like when you got the single pool, those type of guys not in that pool. I don't know where these came from. So it's in them back. What you about to say, Melissa? You said you didn't age.
Oh, I was just gonna say, it's really not an age thing, because when I was talking to more people, like it was people like me, like, we were ready for relationships. We wanted to communicate. We didn't want to do any of the toxic stuff. And it's really the men that's not wanting to cooperate. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to have to communicate. They don't want to have to deal with their feelings. And it's just like, at some point, y'all are going to have to stop doing that. And it's like, there's plenty of people my age that are ready for a relationship. So I just definitely don't think it's an age thing.
So if somebody asked y'all a question, why are you single? Would you answer it?
Truthfully. Will we answer truthfully?
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, right now, I know why I'm single. I'm single by choice. I'm also single because I choose to put other people first, and now I choose to put myself first, and I want to be selfish right now, and I don't want to have to compromise. I don't want to have to do any of those things right now at this point in my life. So that's why I'm single.
So I would like to say that I'm single because I'm busy and I'm a mother and I work and I go to school and blah, 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 blah. But in all actuality, I don't know that that is like the full-on truth. I think that I'm single because I don't encounter a lot of men that I would consider an option.
It's true. And for me, I think it's for a long list of reasons, but but for me, I think some of it is I can kind of see through the nonsense. And it's just like, if your answer is not matching up 3 days later or a month later, like, you might have forgot, I didn't forget. So it's just like, I just don't have a high tolerance for nonsense, because if I'm working and I'm doing all of this stuff for myself, I need you to meet me where I am or be above me, because if that's the case, I can be by myself with less bills and less drama. So for me, it's just like, I want someone who wants me just as much as I want them. And it's not hard to do, but you got to put in the work. Like, you're not going to come in a relationship and thinking you going to give the bare minimum, and just because you look good, that's good enough for me. That doesn't work. So I think whoever the lucky gentleman is, they'll be very happy. But like Takara said, like, I don't know what happened. I think, the situation in the past 2 years must have took out the rest of them, because I don't see them.
Well,
oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, I think we gave a lot of good points, and I think we were like truthful, because we talked about ourselves. We talked about, some of the things that they, may see and what we see. So yeah, I think that was some good points. But we do have a letter, and let's get to this letter. The letter says, "Hi, Melanated Opinion. I need some advice. I let a couple of friends borrow money, but they've never paid me back. Since then, one of them asked to borrow more money, and I gave it to her. Do you think I should try to get my money back, even though it's been a minute since they borrowed the money, or should I just let it go? Also, how can I say no without being rude? I want to keep a relationship with them, but I want my money back too." Oh, thanks, Reagan.
Oh, I love that name, Reagan.
What's the
Hey, girl.
First of all,
yeah.
Yeah, there are so many things here.
lend out money if you can't afford to not ever get it back. That's first thing. Second of all, it's not going to be a relationship anymore, because every time I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about the money that you haven't gave me. If I see you shopping, eating, doing anything where you could have been giving me back my money, like, it's not going to be a relationship. And it ain't. And then for you to fix your mouth to ask me for more money,
you know how sometimes people give sob stories like, oh, I need money for gas to get home, because I don't have it. And they may be like, oh, but I'm going to pay you back, though, for real, though. I'm going to pay you back.
And a hard way. When I was in college, a lot of people did me like that. And thankfully, I had friends that just were like, Shanita, you too nice. Quit giving people money. And so they kind of helped me break that habit. But I used to be like that. But I learned.
Yeah. And I would say, stop worried about being mean or not. Like, they obviously don't care to be nice to you to even give you your money back. So at this point, it don't sound like they should be your friend, because I'm pretty sure that's not the only thing that they did. And two, don't worry about being nice. Tell them no, and they'll get over it.
And that's the thing. Like, if you are actually still willing to be their friend after they haven't paid you back, and they're like, oh, well, you don't want to lend me any more money, and so we're not cool anymore. You just did me a solid, and I appreciate you.
Exactly. And the craziest thing about it is you ain't even got to ask them. They know they ain't paid you back. So go ahead.
No. Sorry. Finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was in. So I was just about to say, so you don't even really have to ask, because it's an unspoken, like, they already know that. And as long as you don't say nothing, they're not going to say nothing.
And I also feel like your friends, right? Now, if your friend is really, really going through a thing, and they like communicate with you and be like, hey, I know that I owe you money, and I'm going to just give you a little bit, on good faith to show you that, when I get more, I'll give you more, or whatever the case might be, then that's a different situation. But again, I also agree with whoever said it. Don't lend out what you can't afford to not get back. And I've heard other people say that, like, only lend what you can afford to not, So I think that should help. But again, if somebody's going to be mad because you don't give them money.
And I agree with everybody. And I say, for me, I kind of had to learn too, because I had a neighbor that asked me for some money a couple of times. And I was like, Shanita, I was like, wait a minute. Do you have bags? Like, you just went to the mall? Like, you just went out to eat? So no, that was after the first time. So the second time she came to me, it was some sob story. And so I said, you know what? Here's $20. You can have, but I can't let you have any more money. So don't ask me for any more, because I'm not going to give it to you. So I would say that's a technique that you can use for yourself and other person to say, I'm not even letting you borrow anymore, anything else. And this, because I'm not going to ask for it back on purpose, is letting you know that this is done.
Yeah. And people like that, to be honest, some of them are just borrowing from you to pay back somebody else that they done borrowed from. Mm-hmm. That's been them for their money. So it's a never ending cycle.
We hope we gave you some good advice for that.
Yep. So just learn to say no, Reagan. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hopefully you got some good insight on why people are single that are good. And we'd love to hear from y'all to see why y'all are single, because I'm sure you are. And if you're guys, just put some more comments down below in your age range, and we'll
picture,
social media, any of that. And speaking of social media, you can find us at The Melanated Opinion on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and The Melanated OP on Twitter. And we'd love to hear from y'all.